Hey, Tom here, FlipAnything USA. Thought I'd catch up. Haven't done a live show in a bit, and thought I'd talk about a day in the life. Today was kind of hectic. Let's see if anybody's got anything new. Be sure to share. If you got any questions, fire away. I'll show you a little bit about what I'm doing. I've got 4 houses. I'm just all hitting at the exact right time to go on the market. I'm excited because there's like a little bit of a housing shortage, and I think that's going to change pretty soon. But I'm going to cash in on it while I can. So we'll get to that in a second. All right. So if you're new to the channel, I have a mentoring. I do mentoring now. I wrote a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. You can see it right there. It took off pretty well and became a demand for mentoring. I never planned on doing it, but I did it. I started it. It's been successful. This is a Zoom class that you see behind me here. And these are actually 3 testimonials. These guys here have all, by their own accounting, made a couple $100,000 a piece. And it works. It works. I've been doing it for 40 years. And I'll take any question anybody has, and we can look at anything you guys want to look at. I was going to show you something. Let me see if I can pull it up. So I'm doing some remodeling. I do a fair amount of remodeling. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I do it. I tell people all the time, it's not that I like remodeling. It's just that sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's worth it. Also, you guys have been asking, look, I've got this app. If you don't know this app, you should get it. It's free. This is an app I created about 3 or 4 years ago, and it is on, it just got put back in Google Play. It's all free, no strings, but it allows you to create kind of a record of your properties that you're looking at, stuff that you're bird dogging. It's really a total bird dogging app, and I have it for iPhone and Android. You can go in, shoot a picture of your property. What's really cool about it is I created it. Look, I tell you guys all the time, don't trust anybody. But so what you can do is you can share a certain amount of a deal that maybe you have it tied up and written up, signed or not. But whether it's signed or not, you can share part of it. Or if you have it, in escrow and you want to assign it to somebody, you could send them some of the details, pictures, maybe tell them what city it's in, or maybe not tell them what city it's in. Just depends on the amount of trust level you have with that particular person that you're dealing with. But it's worthwhile. It's really cool. I use it all the time, and people that have used it have been very happy with. Of course, the price is right. So let me run over here real quick. Oh, yeah, please subscribe to the channel. I don't know, I just did a video this morning on Jerry Norton wholesaling. I don't know if any of you guys are following him that are in here tonight, but I'd be interested in hearing about it. Let's see. Hey, Nick, how you doing? Glad you're here. Funny, buddy. Hadn't talked to you in a bit. Hadn't seen you in here. Of course, haven't been doing much here lately. Been busy, just swamped. But I'm real excited. I'm going to show you guys some of the house projects I got going right now that are just about ready to go on the market. I can even jump over to Google Earth and I'll show you something I just bought that I'm also excited about. Let me get the chat over here where I can see it. Anybody want to call in, you can call in too. I think the phone's up and working here. Should be. Don't worry about it. Should you get a credit card? Yeah, I hope so. Get that started right away. I tell you, my recommendation on a credit card is get an American Express. That was the first credit card I ever had was an American Express because it really wasn't, it was credit for a month. I tell you, when you get a credit card and you just get credit for a month, it's a great way to train you not to spend more than you can afford. Many people run their credit card debt up, and then, it's kind of really a nasty cycle. What people do, they'll run a credit card up, and as they gain more and more credit over the years, pretty soon, they buy a house and they have to refinance their house to pay off their credit card. It's really a terrible, terrible thing. But if you get an American Express, that's what I got when I was a kid. His first credit card, I think I got it in 82, something, 83, I don't know. But it was all due at the end of the month. And it trains you not to spend more than you can afford. And, I know I've heard some people recommend people get a bunch of credit cards and run, get the money there for your, and that's fine, but you can get hard money. If you got a good deal, listen, finding money's easy. If you got a great deal, finding money's easy, okay? You got a great deal, you bring it to me, I'm just going to try to buy you out of it. I'll just try to say, here, assign it to me, and I'll take over your position if it's something I want. But that you can find that anywhere. Guys, everywhere everywhere in this country, you've got, death and divorce and, all despair of all kinds. People get rid of properties for, all kinds of reasons. And the problems that cause properties to go on the market and get sold cheap occur everywhere, every day, in every city, in the USA and everywhere in the world. And so there's opportunities everywhere. My mentorship class, I'll run you over to that real quick. Let's see. If you haven't been in the mentorship, consider it. But you got to have the book. If you don't have the book, get the book. It costs you $10. You could be reading it in a few minutes. In fact, by the way, if you go to my site, FlipAnything USA, okay? Oops, wrong thing. Let me think. Let's see. Get you over here to the book. Anyways, you can go to the front page of this site and fill in right down here below, and you can get a sample. You can get the first few chapters of my book for free. And if that doesn't turn you on and get you excited about real estate, I don't know what will. I mean, I've made tens of millions of dollars. I was 19 when I bought my first property, and no credit, and I got it. And I'm always busy. I got a bunch of remodels going on. I just gotta let this guy. I tell him I'll call him back via message. Love messaging. Run a lot of rentals. I've got about 130,000 square feet of rentals, and I manage most of them just through text. And then I got about 30,000 square feet of properties that I buy and I flip. I just rotate through them, and it's a great position to be in. I started small and I built up to what I got, and I'm sure I'll probably have double what I got by the time I die. Not that it matters then, but it's fun. It's a great lifestyle, making money with real estate. I mean, there's nothing that goes up more. There's nothing that you can get more leverage. In other words, you can borrow 90% from a bank. Some of you can borrow 95% from a bank if it's your first deal. But you can get an owner carried. There's just so many options to make money in real estate that it really is. I mean, that's why I am so passionate about it. And and the people that I teach, I've got people already that have made a couple $100,000 a piece, right out of class. They just were there. Especially all you guys between 25 and 45. I mean, that's when you get really serious about making money. 25, you start to realize, hey, you start seeing other people accelerate past you or some way. Let people watch you fly by, okay? Make your money, and you be the guy that everybody's looking at, wondering, how does he do it? How does he do it? My whole life, I've been that guy. They go, how does he do it? He must be have somebody backing him. Must be selling drugs. Must be doing something illegal. Where's he getting all this money? How does he afford so much real estate? Those are the kinds of things you'll hear when you really get rolling and you're successful. And it's just part of it. It's fun though. It really is fun. So let's see. I was going to see if I could show you some photos. Oh God, I just did this today. Let me see here. So there's the app. And I just did some downloads here. So look, here's a typical day for me. This is from my phone today. So it was kind of cold here today. In fact, we had snow where we don't normally have. So I got this later, but this is a food trailer park that I own. Let's see, you guys can't see that. A food trailer park that I own. This thing caved in today. Okay. And then shortly after that, I had to run over it because I got a little remodel going on. Oh, oops. Here. I didn't mean to grab the video. I was going to show you something else. But we'll come back. We'll watch that, actually. So on this, I just put in countertops in a kitchen, new kitchen in one of the houses. This one's, I paid I think I paid $220 for this house. I expect it to sell for about $600. And I realized, see this? I realized I didn't put a plug over on this side of the range. So I got to go back and look at my pictures, but I think, anyhow, there may be plugs there. There may be a plug there. If not, we're going to have to get one in the chain and run it over there. Kind of a pain in the ass after it's up, but you know what? It's got to be done. So that's on the list. And this is just today. Okay, and then what else? We got a little plumbing issue over in one of my properties. So that's all dug up, and we're going to access those and get that problem fixed. And what else? Oh, sorry, somebody's got a question here. Hey, don't worry. Let's see. Jorge, hey, Tom, have you bought a home going through a divorce? No, never done that. And if you have, how difficult was the transaction? Oh, I'll tell you I'll tell you a deal that got away. It kills me. To this day, it haunts me, okay? I've had nice homes most of my life, to be honest. I bought a beautiful home. My first home that I lived in when I was 25, okay? I already been through 6-7 houses. But the one that I lived in, this is the one that was good enough for me to live in. And believe me, I've lived in some dumps. I kept my overhead low, and I recommend you keep your overhead low. When you're young, what the hell does it matter? I lived in my building. Let me give you a quick little tour here. And so, look, if you just got here, like I said, I've been doing this for 40 years now, made tens of millions of dollars, fantastic lifestyle, write checks for college for my kids. I got 4 kids, write checks for cars. That stuff is like peanuts. I don't even worry about it. The stuff I sweat, I have good problems. Like, can I pay cash for this house? Or can I pay cash for this building? I borrow money too, of course, for bigger buildings and things. But in general, I never borrow money to buy houses. I just pay cash for them. If I need money, I just get a line of credit and pull some money out of the equity out of one of my big properties or something. How do you evaluate the price of a home? You should get my book. It's just numbers. People ask me and say, look, it's just math. It's really not hard to figure out. Figure out what your costs are going to be to fix it up, and then weigh that against is it really going to bring up the value? Listen, the key thing is you buy a property for less than it's worth, and that means not buy it for $60,000 less because it needs $50,000 worth of work. That doesn't make any sense. You're just buying somebody else's problems. If you got say a $200,000 home when it's fixed up and you can get it for $150,000 and it needs $50,000 worth of work, bad idea. Silly. Don't buy it. Now, if you can buy that for $100,000, now you can put in $50,000 and you can make $50,000, okay? But that's not the way to go. Buy it for $100,000 and go sell it to somebody else for $135,000 or $150,000, and then they'll buy it, and then they'll spend that extra $50,000 to make it worth what it's worth, but it'll be exactly how they want it for themselves. If it's an end user, that's an opportunity that comes along a lot. So Peter wrote, I love your energy, Tom. Love your book as well. Thanks for buying the book. Hope I can join your mentorship soon when you can. I understand, Peter, and we're setting up payments. It's going up to $1,000 per person. Okay, I'll just tell you. Look, these guys never want to tell you how much their course is, because if they told you, you'd run. What they do is they bait you for your phone number so they can call you and hound you to death, or a salesman hounds you to death to sell you something for $2,000 to $5,000 to $10,000. Listen, my course is $1,000. I've been doing it for $600, and I've been doing it for free for the last 3 years prior. But I got to have money in it, and it really, because the people that are most serious, you got to have some sweat in the game. You got to have a little money in there, and believe me, you'll be a more serious investor. But you can look at all the testimonials, which you can see behind me here, just so you know. Because listen, I see guys pushing courses and things, and they ain't got any testimonials. It's like, where's the beef there, right? So look here in the mentorship, just so you know, look here. I do a Zoom class every Saturday, And I enjoy the hell out of it, you know, because I sit there and I talk to people. I did probably 2.5-hour class this one. Sometimes it goes 4 hours. And that's just me. You got the class, you got the course. When you go into the site, the first thing you get is a 1-week class revealed to you, and you go through it. And believe me, it's 5.5 hours of stuff you got to listen to. And that's the beauty of it. You can listen to most of it. The visual stuff, you just watch it when you have to, make a note. But you can listen to this while you're at work, while you're driving, if you're a trucker, if you're an Uber driver, whatever. You can just listen to this stuff and take it in. And, you know, these guys here, these are testimonies you can watch. You know, Ron and Liam, and these guys become my friends. Eric, you know, Eric, young man, you know, bought a trailer park, 34 acres of land, thinks he's going to make maybe $200,000-300,000 just on that land alone. And, you know, Liam, he's, you know, a carpenter like me. You know, he retired and now he's on a roll. He's living the dream. He might even be in here before long. He's pretty much a regular. Ron Douglas, Ron's also just kick-ass guy. And he was like the one that blew me away right off the bat, just done so well. So quickly. And like, you know, and these guys are like 30s to 45, you know, right in that area. And that's really a sweet spot to really be in the zone when you're at that age. You're the most serious you are. You got kids, you got things to think about. You got to start thinking about retiring and get your kids through college and all that other stuff. And so it's really cool. How much do you have to have in order to be in the men? You don't, what, money? Are you talking about money? You gotta have $600 today. After the 15th, you gotta have 1,000. But listen, it's peanuts for what you get. You're getting 40 years of experience, and plus, here's the other thing: I teach the whole damn class. Everything you're learning is 100% from me, by me. Anything you don't understand gets addressed also within the course. But also, if something's missed or something that you knew, you talk to me that Saturday, this Saturday. Just join up now. You can. No, I know. No, yeah, Ron's younger than me. I don't know if he's 45. He's there. He's right in that area. Yeah, I know. Shit, I used to be the youngest guy in the room. Now I'm the oldest guy in the room. It's kind of how it goes. It'll happen to everyone someday. Hope so. So, anyways, so look, let's watch something here. Let me just show you some of this remodel stuff. This video that I took earlier today. And guys, obviously I don't worry about doing a real slick presentation. You know, my confidence comes from the fact that I've done it. I just know it. There's nothing I won't answer. No question I'm afraid of. That's why I don't have any problem doing anything live like this. Anything you want to talk about, I'm game. Okay, so look, here's earlier today. Let's see. Let's watch this.
Tom here. So I'm back on my latest house.
Hang on. Here we go. Too much feedback in that one. Okay. Oh, gosh. All right. Here we go. Get this up and running. Oh, nice.
Howdy. They've got the cabinets primed.
Hello. And, oh, that looks great. Huh. Cool. Looks good. That's the paint for the cabinets?
Yeah, good.
Okay, you got enough paint for the cabinets still? We just get more.
Yeah.
All right. Can you guys hear that okay? Do you think that mantle would look good, Gray? It'd probably look the same. Let's wait. Wait on that. After I see that, then we'll look at the other. Let me know if you guys can hear that.
This gray. It'll match the cabinets. I think I'll paint the same on there.
Anyhow, so these guys knocked it out. So hello. And doing a quick check on things. Oh yeah, looks nice. Looks great. We had snow. We don't normally. So look, they just painted that, and they just painted that, and so I was just walking through the house, and you can see here. See, these are new doors. These doors are peanuts now. These are pre-hung doors. You know, they cost you about $100 a door. You know, sometimes a little bit more, depending on what you get. These ones, I actually just got everything that I would have gone with a slightly different style normally, but Home Depot and Lowe's, that's all they had, and I wanted to get the house knocked out. I mean, I did this whole thing in probably 3 weeks, and we're talking. We painted that beam gray up there, but the whole house painted. That fireplace, that's brand new. Facade on that fireplace, that's all new. And you're going to see all this. Some of this you guys have already watched if you watched my daily stuff I was sending out. But I'm going to make some nice videos. That's all new crown mold in there.
And doing a quick check on things. Oh yeah, that's nice.
And this is the master
snow.
bath.
I don't normally see that. That is highly unusual.
And that's a new fence in the back there. And that fencing was expensive. Showers a little more. This is, this is all glass, 2 sides of glass.
Coming in. That was higher than
that was actually going to be $3,000 just for that glass enclosure. That was a little more than I wanted to spend. But it is what it is. I wanted to experiment with it anyways. All right. So let's get to some questions. Let's get my mug off of here. Oops. And then here, I'll just show you another one. Well, I got another video we'll go to in a second, too. Be sure to share and subscribe if you guys are here. And I've made hundreds of videos now covering just about everything. So let's, hey, Delta. Oh, Delta, that's a class question. We're going to have to get you in the class. Is this the house from the furnishing video? No. Nope. Different. I got 4 houses going right now. Actually, I got 5, 6, but that are like in various states of renovation. But this one's going to wrap up. This one I only bought 3 weeks ago. The house that was staged I bought like 10 years ago. This house that we're looking at that we just walked through, I expect it'll sell for about $400,000. I paid $250 for it, and I probably spent about $50 on it. But also, just so you see, look, so actually this is kind of my day behind me now to think about it. This is kind of an easy way to do it. It's cold here. The paint, you got to have a house that's got to be kind of warm to paint, to be honest, to do it right. Anyways, so this is, the thermostat doesn't work in this house. There's a drain issue we're dealing with over in this building. And then, oh gosh, I got to sign some. This is a piece of property. I actually bought this for $205,000. I sold it for $2.8 million. So I made a couple $1 million on this piece of property. That was a longer project. And now you can see they're building houses. There's 180 homes going in on it. And they're probably actually all done now. That was a Google map. But let's see, what other question you guys got? I'm glad you can hear it. Let's see. Tom, 1K is not a lot compared to what we can learn from you. Yep. No, that's truth. Look, and there's plenty of people that are taking. Now, hey, Almas is in the class. Yeah. Almas, I got a Porsche question for you, too. I think I'm going to have to talk to you about next class. Almas is in the class. He's actually a Porsche technician. It's neat. We got people from Puerto Rico, Australia, UK. They're all over the globe in there, plus, of course, all over the USA. And, it's just really cool. I really enjoy the heck out of it. And, people have different opportunities around them. And believe me, I've had opportunities to buy up properties that were fantastic cash flow rentals I kept and, sold later. Or, I like I said, I like commercial office stuff. Is my favorite. Okay. Industrial, I love too. Apartments are my least favorite. And I've owned many apartments, and made millions of dollars on apartments. In fact, if you guys want to skip around, I'll skip you around. We can skip around if you want to go to Google Earth. You guys want to jump around, I'll show you some properties I've owned in the past, some that I still own. Or we can, I'll show you this other remodel. This is all from today. That was kind of the point of this, was kind of show you a little bit of a day in the life. Let me see if I can. Okay, so we looked at that. Oh, yeah. So here, check this out. This is a little 2-bedroom, 1-bath house that I bought, and I own 4 houses in a row and a restaurant, all in a row on this thing. And each one, I bought one at a time. I didn't buy them all at once. I bought them over a period of maybe 10 years or so. And everybody knows that rents from me knows that I'm a buyer. And I tell them, I've said, turn me onto a property, I buy it. If you give me a referral, I'll give you $5,000 or $10,000, whatever. Well, that one restaurant was next to one of my tenants, and she called me. She used to walk over and get her Mexican food every day, or often. And she walked over and saw there was a note, said, "Hey, we're closing up, places for sale." She called me. I was the first one there. I signed the deal that day. I paid $720,000 for it, maybe $750. I always get those numbers confused. I think I paid $750. But I got a 3% interest rate, 3% interest, and I got him to carry $700,000. Okay, so I had a $700,000 note. I paid like $2,200 a month on a $700,000 note. Okay, that when you get the interest rate down low like that, that's what that's how low your payments can be. And sometimes, I've done interest only. I'll tell you something that'll really blow you away. And I may run over here just real quick. This testimonial right here, you got to watch it. I mean, this guy killed it. I mean, everybody here is impressive. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's amazing. But he did something I had never done. He got it 100% financed, 0 interest. I told him, I go, you got to write a book. I'm telling you. He got 100% financed, 0 interest. Okay? So every payment goes to principal. Totally cool. Okay, Melquidas? Am I saying that right? How are you going to tell me? Hi, Tom. What do you think about Jerry from Flipping Mastery? You know what? I don't know him. I've never met him, talked to him. Of course, I don't know really any of these gurus out there. Not that he's a guru, or I don't even know if that's a bad thing, to be honest. But you know what? I listened to him talk, and there was a good video. I liked the video that he put out. I can't testify to the quality of the information that he sells. I don't know it. He seems like he's big on talking on phone deals, which indicates to me buying a lot of stuff out of state, kind of like sight unseen, other than maybe the eyes from Google Earth. And you can make money that way. I've bought houses without walking into them. I've bought land without ever seeing it, and I've made money that way. It's not my favorite way. I'm more of a, that you can do, if you can buy properties sight unseen, and you can send out 1,000 offers and maybe get, 20 properties, or maybe not even that many, because a lot of people shotgun out just tons of bad offers, low offers, not bad offers, bad for somebody, good for if you get it, and that's fine. But I don't want to send out that many offers. I concentrate on lead. I find opportunities everywhere, number one. But I kind of quickly identify those hot spots in those areas, and because they're everywhere. And I focus in on that, and then I just try to take the cream of the crop, because I like quality, not quantity. I want to make a lot of money on a single property, or 25, 30, maybe 40% sometimes. I've made some amazing deals, believe me. I bought properties and made 5 times what I paid for them, and even more. So is assigning wholesaling feasible in Southern California? Yeah, that's where I started. I started in California, all over the desert. A lot of property trading, and I just had somebody in my stomping grounds join my class there. I think they joined. Listen, Aga, you can get in the class right now for $595. 15th, it changes. It goes to $1,000. We're going to have these $100 a month for some people. Some people I understand some people want to get in the door, but we'll have like an automated thing where, they'll ding you $100 a month for a year, but the class will be a slower release. You'll see what the options are. I've been over it with my web guy. It'll be posted here pretty soon. Yeah, listen, it doesn't matter where, anywhere. It doesn't matter where. I've flown to Idaho to help a buddy get a house, and I ended up buying one for myself. Got him one too, and I bought a duplex. I bought a duplex on the side of a hill with a house for $55,000. And that was in Idaho, and it was beautiful. It overlooked I forget the river. Orofino, Idaho. Orofino, Idaho. I think it was the Orofino River, which I think means fine gold. Yeah. But yeah, listen, I would never pressure anybody out of their money. And I can tell you that's what most, and I'm not speaking, we're talking about Jerry right now, but I'm not talking about him right now. I'm saying in general, there's a lot of snake oil out there. I thought Jerry Norton's video was a fine video, and he's knowledgeable about what he does, this wholesaling stuff. And I don't even call it wholesale. I call it assigning. I've been assigning property. First property I ever assigned, I made $20,000, okay? $20,000. And the way I came about that deal was by accident. I found a great deal that I couldn't afford by myself. So what do? I was looking for money. I was looking for a partner to buy it with me, to split it. I'd already done that on a few houses with one of my friends. That was just, houses that were 30 to 60,000. Well, this was a building that was almost 200,000. And so that was out of his league. And so I called, who do you call? Your boss, right? Your boss. If you know your boss, I was a carpenter, and one of my old bosses, John Brooks, he was a steel building constructor. I worked for him too. And I thought, man, John's got money. So I called John, said, John, come look at this property. And he looked at it and he goes, hey, Tommy, that's a great deal. He goes, but I don't want a partner. And I'm like, what? And he said, nah, how about I just give you $20,000 and I buy it by myself? And I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. And so that's when I was like, light bulb moment for me on assignments, or what you guys like to call wholesaling. And I just basically assigned my position, and he probably made 50 to 60, 70, 100,000. I don't know what he made, but I made 20 like that. And that worked nicely. And I always tell you, I got another great mentor from Southern California, Hank Booker. And Hank Booker he was a fireman. He'd work 3 days a week, and he'd work his ass off, when he wasn't a fireman. Because a fireman, you're just waiting for a fire. You work out, eat well, exercise, and then you're 4 days off. And on those 4 days off, he was a tycoon, and he was looking for property, and he was making deals. And I remember he bought a $4 million building. He actually bought a couple of my buildings when I left California, and just a great guy. I need to catch up with him, actually. Is it always ideal to get a property assigned 30% less than the comps? How do you figure cost of repair? So, well, here's the deal. I would buy that property. If I can get something 30% under market, I'll just go ahead and buy it. But if I don't have the money and I can't afford to buy it, then my next best choice would be to borrow the money. Just borrow it. And so if I get a hard money, you guys call it a hard money loan. I just money. I borrow money. So I borrow from a private individual. That way I can get it quicker, less hassle, might pay a little more interest. People say, oh, Tom, would you pay 10% interest? Listen, I started in 10% interest rates. That's where I started, okay? And so everything went, from the time I started in real estate, interest rates have just gone down. Okay, now you carry a note for 3%. I used to carry all the notes, and I've had many notes. I sell property and I carry notes, and I was carrying all my notes at 10%. I had 10 grand a month coming in just from notes when I was in my 20s. So anyways, okay, I always hear find a mentor. Where did you find your mentors? I cannot find one other than spend this much on my course. Well, I'll be honest. I didn't have a mentor. I read this. Listen, here's the thing. When I started, this is a really good question. I'm glad you asked this too. You're lucky. You're lucky you can get this. You're lucky you can get my book, okay? And listen, that's $8 or $10, $20 in paperback. That's peanuts. I don't make money on. Listen. If I make $5,000 a month on books, big deal. That's nothing, okay? For the information that's inside, it's an amazing deal. And because where are you going to get 40 years experience? Okay, nobody's going to, and this is like condensed down to like, hey, I wrote this for my kids. I wrote this, and it's at the very beginning of this book says, Dear Jack. Well, guess what? Jack's a real guy. He's a buddy of mine. He actually passed away of cancer. But I explained to you in my book how I would talk to you as if you were my best friend. And that's the approach I took in that book, and that's exactly how it conveys. And so I just try to make it the quickest, easiest way. That's not everything I know. By no means is that everything I know. You get everything I know out of the mentorship if you can ask me everything you want to know. But it just takes a long time to get this much experience. But to your point, listen, where do you find a mentor? Look, I just mentioned that I had a couple of mentors. When I say they were my mentors, they weren't really real estate mentors. They were good examples of hard-working guys. Hank Booker was a fireman that poured concrete, that accumulated real estate over his lifetime. John Brooks was a guy that built a big business. It's hard work. Those are mentors of guys that hard work, handshake guys, honest, just straightforward. And what I really love about those guys is because think about this, and this is why I talk to you guys like you're rich, okay? I don't worry about hurting your feelings. I talk about money openly because that's how I would if I was in the room with somebody that was, that was also equally wealthy, or you know what I mean? To me, it's the highest compliment you can get when somebody talks to you like they're like you can relate to them. In other words, I'm talking about money. It's not to brag. It's to let you know about this world that's out there, that's right out there in front of you. But you got to dig and you got to work for it. Nobody hands it to you. So to your question about mentoring, nobody threw their arm around me and said, hey, Tom, let me show you how to make a lot of money. No. But what they did is when I asked a question, they answered it. That's a mentor, okay? That's a mentor. A mentor is somebody that has, knowledge that you want. And when you ask them a question, they give you the answer. And that's what I do. You ask the right questions, I give you the answers. And then now, as far as this, the book, and then, when you get in the mentorship, you're going to get one of these two, okay? And this is Tom's file cabinet, right? Tom's file cabinet. And that's you get. And then everything else is just me pouring out what's most important in the courses. People really, it's awesome because there's hours and hours of Q&A with every class. And in that Q&A, there's so much information that comes out that gets into details that would have never gotten there if I had to just keep writing it. But it's more engaging when somebody asks a question, because for every person that asks a question, there's 10 people that had the same question in their head. And then some people ask questions that nobody ever thought of. And sometimes there are things that I haven't even had to think about for 30 years. And so great information comes out. Yeah, great, Peter. I look forward to seeing you in class. Almas is in there. Other people are in there that come in here. And, listen, I have people that write me emails, and they talk about how they got ripped off or they got in some $5,000 course deal, and they've paid $997 so far, and they're pissed. And they're not going to pay anymore. And, but that $1,000 gone is wasted. So, there's a saying, they say, I don't know, buy... Let's see. You can, you listen. Pay more, buy once. And get the right thing or something like that. But the bottom line is, you do your due diligence to buy a quality product, okay? Because if you don't, you're going to end up buying it twice, okay? You're going to buy one that's a piece of crap, and then you're going to buy the second one. You're going to buy right. And I got Kyle in the class too. This reminds me of him. Kyle, I really like Kyle. He's a diehard. He really works hard. He's in the class, and but he was telling me how he bought his second home for. He told me he said he bought a house more than he probably should have bought, more expensive than he should have bought, the first one that he bought, and then he went back and he bought a second home. And so I joke with him because I said, so you bought your second home first. He bought his second home first. The home that he should have graduated to and he bought first, and then he bought his first home that he should have bought. He bought second, and then he moved into the second home and then rents out the more expensive home that he bought the first time. So and those are life lessons. He learned that one on his own, but it's a good lesson. And listen, keep your overhead low. And believe me, you'll be unstoppable. Hey, please hit that subscribe button. Let me go look here in the back end. Oh, my gosh. But you will be pleasantly surprised at how easy real estate is to learn. It's just like, swimming, you're scared to death, jump in the pool till you figure it out. Bicycle too, right? You ride a bike, first it's foreign, then once you got it, you got it. It's like so many things like that they're not as hard as it looks. It's not as hard as it looks. It's just math, and I tell people, and I relate to this a lot, is, look, when you buy a car, you got to go to the DMV. And you look to get a good deal. Make sure you're not paying too much. Well, that's what you do with property too. And then you got to go to the title company. Well, people think, a title company sounds scary. No, it's like going to the DMV. They're like the DMV of real estate, but instead of cars, it's real estate. The DMV, what do? They say, here's the title to the car. Here's an encumbrance, the bank, the beneficiary, the lien holder, and those kinds of things are the same with real estate. It's very similar. And except the only difference is your car goes down in value. The real estate generally goes up in value. And with opportunities in real estate, you can buy stuff so far under market that, there's just nothing that compares to it. Let me see if I can show you something here real quick. Okay, yeah. Bear with me. I'm going to show you some properties, I think. Let's see. All right. Okay, let me go over here. And real quick, I'll run you through. So these are some properties. Okay, look, this is the second building that I bought. Okay, look, actually see this building over here? This one here is the first one I bought. I bought that when I was 19 years old. That's a 6,000 square foot commercial industrial, what we call a flex space. Okay, the second building, I bought houses in between too, but second building I think I bought was this one right here. Okay, and it goes all the way back here. That wasn't there a long time ago. But this one I made $100,000 on. I bought it for $105,000, and I sold it for $220,000, and I put about $10,000 in it. And I actually sold it to my tenant that was in there. My tenant was an electrician, and then actually that electrician ended up selling it later on to Hank Booker's, with the gentleman I told you about that was the fireman. In fact, he built this place across the street, and that's not how we met, but he did build this place across the street. And then he later bought this property from me, and then this was a dirt lot. This was parking. This property you see here, this was parking for my building when I bought it. Hank was smarter than I, and richer by far, but he just took that dirt lot and he built this building, and he built this little garage building. So he's got more rent coming out of that. And then here right down the street, this is kind of interesting. So check this out. I bought this property too once right here. See if I can turn around to show you. Okay, so check this out. This is a little house. I bought this place for $34,000, and I needed a partner at the time when I did it. I didn't have the money. He put the money up, and it didn't even need any renovation. Let me get a better look at it for you here. Go on the ground. So I bought this property. See, it looks like hell. It doesn't look like that right now. It looks awesome right now. It's really interesting. I looked it up on Zillow, and this thing was all fixed up brand new just recently. So I bought this property for $34,000, and we figured it was worth $50,000. And so this is again kind of a what you guys call a wholesale. I mean, I got it with a partner. And I said, okay, let's flip it, and I want to get my cash. And he goes, man, I want to keep it. And I said, okay, it's worth $50,000. We paid $36,000 for it. There's $14,000. Let's, so he gave me $7,000 or $8,000. Can't remember. So I just made $8,000. I left, and he kept the property, and then he sold it later on. Well, I just looked it up for the hell of it, and I saw where this property just sold for $80,000, I think. And that guy fixed it up and resold it for $200,000. And I don't think he put more than $30,000 in. So somebody just turned this property just this year, less than a year, and made $90,000 on it. That's the kind of stuff that you can do. And Really, I just can't tell you. I don't know how to convey it to you. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that hype you up on stuff, but they can't do this. You gotta be able to discern the difference of the real deal and somebody that's full of crap. I'm jumping around showing you actual properties that I owned or that I bought, that I sold, okay? And these are more than 20 years ago, okay? This is like when I started, when I was younger. And, so let's see what else I can show you. It's getting late here. Let's see what else. Let me jump over here again for a second. Hey, please hit that subscribe button, and do go to FlipAnything USA, and go to the front page and go to the bottom and go get the first couple chapters free. You just fill out your email in there, and then you'll get notified once in a while that I got a video or something like that. I don't spam people. Don't worry about that. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. So somebody's in my old neighborhood. I live near L.A. and have 3 to 5% down. What does that mean? Oh God, Palmdale. You know what? Palmdale was an absolute crap hole when I was a kid. That was a horrible place. And Lancaster was the nice area. Believe it or not, Lancaster was the nice town. Now Lancaster is a dump, and Palmdale is much nicer than the other. Listen, Alex, anywhere is a good place to flip. Guys, it doesn't matter where you're at. Even this boarded up, ugly building right there, somebody just made 90 grand on that in Lancaster, California. In Lancaster, they made 90 grand. I can show you. Let me just show you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm not going to do it. Listen, I can't remember the address. Oh, no, I do know it. Hang on. Okay, check it out. Oh, I think I remember. Kettering. Okay. Let me see. Oh, yeah, 319 Kettering. Check it out. Let me jump over to Zoe let me distract you over here for a little bit. Please sign. I'm going to jump over. I'm going to show you. This is why you guys, you can't deny this. This happened this year. This happened this year. I think it was there. Yeah, it was Zillow. Give me 1 second here. So like I say, you go to a seminar and guys, my plumber's calling. Hang on 1 second. Hey, Claude, can I call you back? Yeah, it's no sweat. But I'll talk to you about that. We're going to move, a toilet and something else, and I'll talk to you about it. Okay, thank you. Bye. You got it. Thank you. So look, and this is also how you know I'm real. I walk the talk. I live it. This is what I do. So check this out. This is it right here. Okay. Look at this. This is that. Oh, God. Let me get this out of the way, hopefully. Oh, God, what happened here? Yeah, this is all Lancaster stuff. God, that looks like a house I used to own, too. Of course, a lot of them look alike there. Okay, here's the house. And now let's go back to the Google Earth version, okay? So here's the Google Earth, right? Look at this. See how ugly that is? This is what it looks like right now. I don't know why all this crap's in the way. Ugh. Okay, well, anyway, look at here. See, it just sold. Can you see where it says sold 7/20/20? So it just sold like 6 months ago, okay? And I looked up that it sold before this. It sold for like 80 grand or maybe 68,000 was the number. But, and I apologize, I don't know why I can't get a full screen view of this thing. But it doesn't look like it's going to let me. But yeah, there. Look at that. Look at that side. But they even have it. There's what that's what it looked like, and now this is what it looks like today. See, there's the little patio porch there. There's the porch there from a little different angle. That's the backyard. It looks like. Yeah, I can tell you. I don't even remember what it looked like inside. I bought it, and I don't even know. I don't even remember walking inside it. But I made whatever. Me and my partner split $14,000 on it 25 years ago, and now somebody else bought it for peanuts, $80,000. So think about that. Somebody bought it for $80,000. 20 years after I bought it for $34,000, and 20 years after I sold it, more than 20 years after, I sold it for $56,000, basically, or $50,000. So again, they sold it too cheap. They sold it too cheap, and never mind that this neighborhood is rougher than shit. Okay, look at this place. This is, I mean, look at that. This is, it's kind of nasty. I mean, that's what it looked like when I was a kid too. But there's a lot more crime in this area now. So let's see, like everywhere probably, huh? Oh, here we go. Again, that's, it's an industrial area. That's an asset. That's a great. And you guys, listen, if you've read my book, and I know some of you have, my love interest in that book, the girl I kind of had a crush on, had like me too. Unfortunately, you'll know more about it. But she worked next door. This is where she was at in here. I'd work in my building in my cabinet shop, and I'd walk across here. And anyhow, she ran the snack bar over there for a while. So let's see. Would you buy commercial property with gas tanks inside ground? Yes. I actually just made an offer on a gas station. And I did not get it, but this is what I found about it, and I can't completely confirm this. But the tanks are not a big deal. You wash them out and then fill them with sand. That's it. Fill the tanks with sand. Get rid of the fuel, fill the tanks with sand. And you can repurpose it. A lot of things I like about gas stations, depending on the location. The posts and the islands get in the way. But get that crap out of the way. They make great pawn shops. They can even be a decent little, you can cut all the canopy and all that stuff down, make a little car lot if it's zoned right and if it's big enough. Not all the old gas stations are big enough to be a car lot, to be honest. They're just a little bit undersized. But dry cleaners, they repurpose well for certain things. So let's see what else. Oh yeah, I think I was gonna see. Look, we keep jumping around. All right, let me jump over here real quick. But what'd you guys think? Was that cool or not? Seeing that house. I mean, that's. I didn't make that 90 grand. Somebody else did. But that's in Southern California. That one in the worst part of Southern California. Highest crime rate town in Southern California now is Lancaster. It ties with Compton. And listen, I've been to Compton in the 80s when it was as rough as you can imagine, where we kept a gun in the car. And we walked a house with a pistol. It was pretty terrible. Not so much so fun. I mean, I was looking at a beach house in California recently, but to be honest, the whole damn country's going crazy. And, California, the people are leaving California in droves, and they're chasing them and trying to get their hooks in everybody. If you got a piece of property in California, they're going to try to make the argument. If you spend more than 60 days in California, they're going to try to attach your income and try to charge you California state income taxes, which I think are like 13% now. So that's a big turnoff. I think I'd rather just rent. And I'll just rent property there when I want to go there and hang out on the beach in Manhattan Beach. I love to go to Manhattan Beach. I've owned, I should say, I didn't own it. I assigned a property. I went into escrow on a house in Ventura many years ago, and I actually did live in it and played with it and enjoyed the property like crazy. And then I flipped it without ever having to put it in my name. So yeah, no, I love California. I don't think there's a better place in the USA. Atmosphere, terrain, weather, the temperature, it's beautiful. There's really nothing better than California. But it's just, there's a lot of negatives too when it comes to just too much regulation and too much taxes. I don't like it for that reason. So let's go back here for a second. And yeah, that's my reminder. Hit that subscribe button. And I'll see if I can show you one more thing before I go. All right. Hey, if you just got here, FlipAnything USA. I have a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. It's been a #1 seller on Amazon and Kindle. You can get it on Audible now. I have a mentorship that came about by demand after people reading the book, and that's been very successful as well. And you can, and I can see we got new traffic here, so I got to tell people. Esther Billionaire. I'm in Los Angeles, he wrote, in real estate school. I have a goal to earn my license by May. Listen, you'll figure out strategy. Listen, it's funny because I was listening to Jerry Norton. They were talking about, being agents, and, I never wanted to be an agent. I mean, I was an agent for about 6 months. Technically, I was an agent for about a year and a half, but legally only for 6 months. I didn't realize I was operating without a license for a while. Listen, I flipped a lot of land in Los Angeles. All this stuff is, I got my start. My first million was in Los Angeles. And so Taylor just chimed in. Tom, I read your book. I'm interested in flipping land. Is the first step to get the county info or vacant landowners mailing them? Or do I want to target? Yeah, Taylor, I don't want to go through that too much right now. We're kind of jumping around to too many other things. As far as you door knocking, listen, door knocking is fine, but that's not the most productive thing you can do by no means. Because if you're door knocking and you're talking, and half your doors you're knocking on are tenants, or you're talking to renters that aren't the decision makers. So that could be a huge waste of time. And I can tell you right now, many real estate officers have no respect for the new agents. They have them answer the phones and chase crappy leads a lot of times, not all the time. Go into like a Keller Williams or something like that, and I can't speak to them being great or not, but they seem like they have a pretty good support team. You can, you got to start somewhere. Just, listen, you get on a path and then you hit a fork, okay? And then you go somewhere else. You go left or right, and, or whatever. It'll take you somewhere. But immersing yourself in real estate, what I would do if I were you, if I was going to, knowing what I know, if I was a real estate agent and I was going to be making that money that way, I would be a leasing agent. Watch the video I just sent out today. I would be a leasing agent, and I would lease commercial space, because the people that make decisions about renting office space, and I pay these people all the time because I have a lot of tenants. I have 130,000 square feet of rentals. So when somebody brings me a tenant that leases a building from me, they pay $100,000, a year in rent for 3 years. Well, that's $300,000 lease. I'm going to give them 4% of that lease. I'm going to give that agent $12,000, okay? And that's like getting half of a $400,000 sale at 6%, that you had to wait 90 days to close, and you had to do a bunch of butt kissing and go through all the emotionals and all the stuff that goes through people that are buying and selling their property. None of that happens in leasing. They just go and they say, I'll take it, and it's done, And that's the power you're going to have. If you take my mentorship, you're going to have the power of, I'll take it. I'll take it. And that means you're going to know what I know about being prepared, knowing value. Knowing value is the most important thing. You got to know what something's worth, so that when an opportunity is right in front of you, you can say, I'll take it. Because if you don't know it's a great opportunity, you're going to go, let me think about it. And that'll blow it every time. You'll lose every deal. By the time you figure it out, somebody else will have already figured it out, slipped in, and taken the deal away from you. I've taken deals from hundreds of people now, and there's it's kind of a bittersweet thing. But I'm going on a piece of property or a house. I walk into a house, and the neighbor comes over and says, "Hey, can I help you?" Like I'm a trespasser. I say, "Hey, how you doing? I just bought the place." And they're like, "What?" And they're like, "That son of a bitch said he was going to sell it to me." Yeah, because he didn't stay on top of it. He didn't stay in touch with the guy that owned the house well enough. And as a result, I came in and bought it like that. And the neighbor that told me going to sell it to him for the last 20 years didn't. Walked on him. All right. Oh, Ian's in the class. I see. Hey, Ian, glad you're in here. Ian, maybe you can throw some testimony on the class. Tell people if you like it or not. So Ian wrote, they've changed the zoning in California. You can now add more units per property, encouraging. Yep. I understand they're definitely, they're pushing for density everywhere. And listen, that's great for me because I own a lot of property. And But in all honesty, I don't even care about the money anymore. I'd rather have less density just so I don't have to drive through the traffic. But you know, it's a real deal. And I'll tell you, this is when you have this density increase, Ian, and this is something to keep out for, Ian, and everybody in the class and everybody watching. Higher density means higher values, okay? The more property, more people you can put on that property, whether individual townhomes or, you know, rentals. What can happen is the guy that owns the property goes, yeah, this thing's worth 200 or 300 or 500,000 or whatever it is, maybe 50,000, doesn't matter. But now the zoning's increased. He doesn't know it. So you come in and you buy it, and it's worth twice what you paid for it. That happens. You know, I was watching an episode, one of Ben Malla's deal. Listen, Ben Malla is somebody that I know immediately. He doesn't have my experience, but he has great experience, and he's made more money than me. But he's done it with HUD. He's earned every cent of it. He's dealt with HUD. I hate HUD properties. I've owned one. You know, and he's a smart guy. But what he talked about is he sold a hotel, I think. And after the hotel sold, it sold again for more than, I mean, somebody made a couple million, I think, after he sold it. Somebody else made a couple million on him. And, of course, it hurts your feelings when you're a savvy investor. If somebody buys a property and makes too much money, you don't mind them making a little money on you, but you don't want them to make, you know, like, you don't want to feel like you left millions of dollars on the table or hundreds of thousands on the table. And that's what I got from that episode, is that what happened was they changed the density. And now that apartment or hotel or whatever it was, he didn't know it when he sold it, but he was able to add another 60 or 100 units, okay? That is huge. That is huge. And Ben missed it. And, you know, but that happens. But it hurts your feelings terribly when you miss a deal. But I tell everybody in my class, you're gonna miss deals by that much, okay? But don't look at it, you know, missing it by that much is a good thing. That's like, you know, it's like if you're running a race. If a guy beat you by that much, what, you're just going to get a little stronger, and then you're going to beat him by that much next time. It means you got that close, and that just means you're doing the right things to get that close. So just remember that. So look, let me double check here real quick. I'm going to have to go get some dinner here pretty soon. Please share and subscribe. Please comment in the comments below too. I was going to try to show you one more thing. I got, you know what, I'll show you tomorrow. You know what, guys, come back tomorrow. If you get on the notifications, and I'll show you another little place I'm walking through right now. And I'll jump you around. I'll show you a lot of cool stuff. I've got a lot of property. I've been very active in the last several months. And, I mean, my whole life. It's always, people say, I tell people I'm slow, I'm cutting back, I'm slowing down, I'm retiring. And then they're going, you call this slowing down? I say, yeah, this is slow compared to what I used to do. So let's take some questions. Oh, good. Ian says, I love the class. Best decision I've made. Thanks, Ian. Appreciate that. Listen, folks, Ian's in here writing. Ask him whatever you want to ask him, or anybody else here that's in the class. And there's others in here too. Listen, I know it's quality. I know because I know. I've lived it. I've lived the life. And, you know, I'm not going to sell my soul for $600 or, you know, cheat somebody out of $600. It's just, I wrote this book and I made these, all these hundreds of videos I've made that you can watch for free. I made those for my kids as kind of a way to stepping stones when they do get in. I got, you know, I'm kind of an old dad, but my kids are still young, even though I got a couple girls just out of college, you know, and my boys are into stock. They're into the stock market. And they're young and they're in the stock market. But so maybe real estate's never going to be their path. But you guys can take advantage because I've, like I said, I've poured it out like I was doing it for them. And someday they'll come back to it. I know they will. They say they're going to buy real estate with the money they make on their stock. Okay, so look here, Taylor. I wasn't planning on knocking doors. Well, you said knocking doors. I was just wondering. Nah, listen. Taylor, things can change. Everywhere's different. And this is the thing. And I tell everybody, you got to trust yourself. Trust your personality. Listen, you're going to have qualities that I don't have. and vice versa. That's how it goes. And you're going to have advantages in your area, certain economic advantages that I don't have, and I'm going to have certain ones that you don't have. It's okay. It's a little bit different everywhere, but overall, it's the same. It's going to be. You're gonna smell opportunity. You're gonna find opportunities, and you're gonna like look here. This guy right here, he did something I've never done. He got a property 100% financed. Okay, zero interest. I've never had a zero interest loan. He got somebody to give him a zero interest loan. The person that owned the property got it owner financed. Ron done some amazing things too. At Liam as well. So it's cool because it's just kind of, I don't know when you have kids, I took my daughter to the beach the first time. She's just like, 3 or 4 years old. And I take her out in the sand and we're walking up to the water and she's like, "What's the water doing, Daddy? What's the water doing?" Because the water's doing something, right? It's making waves. And it was so cool to see because it's almost like, and not that I would think about anybody's child, but I get to relive the excitement of people making their first big deals, And I mean, it's like Christmas every time I buy a property anyways. But when you see somebody else open the package, like these guys in the testimonials, and you see somebody making, a knockout deal. I mean, it's amazing. Even if it's $25,000, Garrett's just got in the class. Garrett made $25,000 on a trailer. And, it's just cool. It's just cool. And it's very gratifying to me to know that what I'm conveying is registering and people are learning and they're bettering their lives. I mean, listen, I've had a fantastic, I've been blessed. And believe me, I didn't come from money. I can show you the trailer park I lived in. In fact, I'll show you the trailer park I lived in. Why not? Let's take a look at the trailer park I lived in. Oh, God. That was I can actually, rather than try to remember the address, I'll just take you over there. Let's come up. Wow. All right. I lived in a trailer park out here in this desert. And let me tell you, it was not great. Oh, God. Oh, maybe I'm going to have to look it up another way. Check it out. If it's still called the same thing, Golden Sands Trailer Park. See where it takes us. Okay, it's funny. This one's called Desert Sands, but I recognize that name. Anyways, I lived in a trailer park out here in the desert and on Avenue I. And anyways, it was such a dump. God, I got to show you. Golden Sands, come on, man. Let's see. You got to see this. It's so terrible. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to bore you to death on this. Anyways, a crappy trailer park. You can imagine. Oh, you know what? We'll go live again. I'll have it all set up and I'll show you. But the bottom line is the trailer park was so crappy that they filmed a video out there, or a movie out there, a Charles Bronson movie called Breakout. So the trailer park was so bad that when they filmed it there, it was supposed to be like a dump in Mexico. And I got $5 to ride my bicycle in that movie back in like 1970 something. Anyways, but I had a lot of fun in that trailer park, to be honest. It wasn't a bad place to live. We were all poor. That's all. We were all just poor. We had a lot of fun. But I'll tell you, when you look at it today, it's even rougher than it was when I was a kid. So yeah, just know that better things ahead. If you're not a wealthy person. Don't worry about it. You can be. It really is something you can do. And let me just tell you this, and I'll leave you with this, and I'll say goodbye. Look, whether you're rich or poor, when it comes to having a deal, you're the same. You need a deal. And, you may have money, but you don't have the deal. You may be poor, but you don't have the deal. You got to have the deal. As long as you have the deal, finding the money is easy. Finding the deal is so easy. Finding the money is easy. Finding the deal is what's hard. So you find a deal, the money is going to be there. Somebody will buy you out of it. If they don't want to be your partner, somebody will loan you money. If they don't want to loan you money, they're going to buy you out of your deal. And that's where you just assign the deal to somebody. And then pretty soon you'll assign enough deals, you'll have enough cash on your own. You won't even need anybody else. And so that's what I'll leave you with. I appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe. Please hit the like and comment in the comments. And we'll do it again here soon. If you get on the notifications, do it, and I'll take you guys to the trailer park that I lived in. And I'll take you to a couple of buildings, commercial strip center, whatever you want. I'll take you anywhere. I'll show you something that I own now, if you want, or 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Apartment buildings, anything you want to see. I've pretty much done it all. I'm sure there's some things I haven't done, but I've done a bunch that most people can relate to. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why I think somebody like me can teach you probably a heck of a lot more than even Ben at this moment. I don't let's knock Ben, but Ben and like Manny Koshman, these guys are doing multi-million-dollar deals. 20 million. Ben's trying to spend 20 million. Manny bought a $24 million place recently too. Those are big deals. Listen, I made my money with small deals, $10,000 lots, $100,000 buildings. This is the beginning stuff, right? The small stuff. I still do that. I still buy stuff for $100,000. Look at my lot. I bought a lot for $60,000 and I sold it for I bought it for $40,000 and I sold it for $110,000. That's recent. Look up that lot, $60,000 lot. I bought little places for $110,000, sold them for $280,000. This is all recent stuff. I've bought houses. I bought a really cool place. I don't even want to talk about it, but I got a really fantastic deal. Probably I bought it for 25 cents on the dollar. Really amazing. That'll be for another story. So, hey, you just signed up for the course. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the Zoom class Saturday then. Look, hey, please subscribe, hang out, watch. You'll learn a lot. Watch my videos. There's not much I haven't done. And when I come on here, any question you got, I'm happy to answer it. And if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know. But I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. And be sure to listen, that class goes up to $1,000. The $600 goes up to $1,000 on the 15th, but it's still a fantastic deal. No pressure. It's still a great deal either way. So thanks for watching.